a todo el mundo boxístico que puedo vencer y que estoy de vuelta.
In boxing, it's not only the scandalous decisions and illegal punches that make the headlines, but sometimes the consequences of actions that are deemed even more sinister than we can imagine.
Bit by a dirty Mike Tyson.
And so with the numerous amounts of scandals and appalling moments in boxing, we've decided to take a look back to one man in particular who took things to a new extreme altogether.
Had hand wraps that were dipped in something.
So sit tight and brace yourselves for another shocking boxing narrative as we reveal the truth behind the nights Antonio Margarito did the unthinkable. Dating back almost 14 years ago, it was the night Margarito took on challenger Paul Williams that ruffled a few feathers.
Seems calm, professional.
And when Williams landed a chopping left hand across the top, Margarito grinned at him. It would certainly appear that Williams, with his range and his volume of punches, has thrown Margarito for a little bit of a loop.
After getting outboxed to a unanimous decision, it was surely a disappointing night for the Mexican, after the fight he'd been chasing for so long didn't live up to his expectations. But losing his WBO belt there and then sparked a new fire in the pit of Antonio's stomach as he moved forwards to his next bout, beating down Golden Johnson in a first-round stoppage.
Kelly's going to stop the fight. We've got our second first-round knockdown off the card.
May have just punched his way back into the picture, Jeff.
Oh, definitely.
To then, one fight later, knock out Kermit Cintrone for the second time.
Body shot. Yep. Another body shot knockout. We've seen a series of them in recent years. This was a tremendous...
But it was on that exact same night, another world champion had successfully won his fight, making way for what now appeared to be the perfect opportunity to face each other in an ultimate showdown.
I'm ready for the guy who my company put in front of me. If Margarito on July, I'm going ready for him.
July 26 is the date, and I'm ready to pick a winner. The fans. Boxing fans are the winners.
With Mayweather now out of the picture after his surprising announcement of retiring from the sport, it was now down to these two warriors alone to prove to the world who was the best in the division.
Not a lot more to say about this matchup that hasn't been anticipated, but
it was a fight that would bring a guaranteed night of hair-raising entertainment, as both boxers couldn't have been more suited stylistically.
Gentlemen, we'll know the rules in the dressing room. On the caution to keep the fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey.
With the first bell sounding, and as expected, the bout got off to a quick start.
Cotto's going to try to set traps on him.
now Margarito's doing what he wants to do to unload, but so far it's been Cotto's round one.
As usual, Antonio's come-forward pressure was relentless, pushing Cotto back against the ropes, making life difficult for him. But it was the Puerto Rican's slick boxing combinations and movement that enabled him to take the lead and win the first few rounds.
Countering is the way for him to go at this point in the fight, and he is staying true to it.
Things were going good at the beginning for Miguel, but as the rounds progressed, it seemed the more punches he took, the more he felt it.
Those three uppercuts did some damage on Cotto, guys.
He's bent over and now he's not moving as spryly as he did earlier. Big 7th round for Antonio Margarito.
By the midpoint, things had gone from good to terribly bad for Cotto, with his face now showing a tremendous amount of damage. Margarito had stepped on the gas, landing blow after blow, sucking the life out of his opponent in a concerning fashion.
Down goes Cotto from just the wear and tear. Blood streaming from his face.
It was a hard sight to watch, and as the latter stage approached, it became quite apparent that Cotto had nothing left, leading to an unexpected but inevitable ending.
Cotto's in big trouble. They're going to wave it off. His uncle had seen enough. Cotto's corner waves it off. The underdog prevails.
causing one of the biggest upsets during that time period. Margarito's victory over an undefeated Cotto sent shockwaves amongst the sport. Now becoming the new king at welterweight, he held all the cards.
A lot of opportunity out there for you. I know you're going to say you're a promoter, but what do you want now that you're world champion?
You know, Oscar said that he would fight the winner of this fight, and let's see if he keeps his promises. That's what I'd like to fight next.
The following year, Antonio had moved on to other opportunities that had landed on his doorstep, with Sugar Shane Mosley now stepping in for his shot at the bulletproof Mexican.
I talked to you a couple of months ago before the Mayorga fight. You wanted Margarito. I mean, you said don't even take another fight to Antonio.
But it was from this point that a stunning revelation had been made. Thanks to Nazim Richardson Mosley's most recent trainer at the time, the shocking discovery of Margarito's loaded hand wraps led to a truly terrifying dark moment for the sport.
I checked the pad, and when I checked the pad, it felt hard. So then the commissioner felt it. He said, that feels pretty hard. The commissioner flipped it open, and a block fell out of it.
The hand wraps contained gypsum, a form of calcium sulfate, which, when combined with moisture, forms a hard casing of plaster.
When you found out that Margarito had hand wraps that were dipped in something, suddenly the Cotto fight made so much sense.
A couple of sparring partners said that they kind of got hurt from him sparring with him, with, you know, not knowing why they're feeling the shots the way they are.
Of course, you know, what do you think of us? Stupid? You're gonna like, oh, coach, put my hand wrap in my hands. I'm gonna close my eyes. Oh.
Beaten from pillar to post, 37-year-old Mosley managed to put on an absolute boxing clinic. And with Margarito now lacking his extra weapon, he was lost for answers.
Elbow on him there, and the one who's trying to make a physical impression on Antonio Margarito.
Here you see Shane Mosley doing something he said that he would do that Cotto didn't do, was to try to explore body punching.
Why not stop it now? And there's the white towel from the corner, and Shane Mosley has annihilated Antonio Margarito.
Not long after the Mosley fight would Margarito serve what was considered a light form of punishment, as he was handed a 1-year ban from the sport, along with his trainer Capetillo, who bizarrely claimed he knew nothing about the illegal wraps at all. However, after returning to the sport, he managed to gain his first win against Roberto Garcia, but it was shortly after, when he received one of the most torturous beatdowns of his career, did he learn what was yet to come.
Antonio Margarito has said that Manny Pacquiao better be ready for war. Pacquiao always is.
With Manny's lightning hand speed and combinations proving all too much for Margarito that night, it seemed as if this was the Filipino's way of dishing out another well-deserved measure of karma to the Mexican.
Yeah, Margarito's saying that Pacquiao's not hurting him, but his face is telling a different story.
By the end, the damage to Antonio's face was that severe. He was left hospitalized with a fractured orbital bone that could have possibly been career-ending.
He's a Mexican who fights till the end, but was taking a real beating. Did you ever consider stopping the fight and maybe saving Tony from himself?
Never did. Tony's a warrior, and he would have never allowed me to stop this fight.
Fast-forwarding the clock 3 years forward, both men, Cotto and Margarito, had fell at the hands of the Pac-Man. Now looking to climb their way back to the top of the mountain, there was only going to be one fight next that made sense.
Miguel Cotto versus Antonio Margarito, grudge match, rematch.
With a strong revenge or repeat aura surrounding the lead-up, the fight definitely had that typical good guy versus bad guy narrative. And with plenty of back and forth at conferences, certainly didn't fail to bring excitement.
If you don't know what criminal means, you can look it up in a dictionary.
He used the blaster the night of the fight with me. He looks and he acts like a criminal.
What do I say? What can you say about me? That I had plaster in my face? Yeah, I received his punches, and I kept going forward.
The crowd is electrified. I'm electrified. I get the goosebumps standing up on the back of my neck. How about you?
Sold out Madison Square Garden. Colonel, it doesn't get any better than this.
Similar to the first fight, Cotto took control, lapping up every single moment as he plowed his leather into his biggest nemesis.
Cotto's clearly trying to box him, a little bit of a circle. Margarito has trouble with moving targets.
With Margarito looking quite the opposite to how he did in the first fight, things soon drew to a conclusion that Cotto was the better man that night. Boy, did he prove it.
Combination of punches by Miguel Cotto. I'd say he's trying to go for him right now. They're saying that's
Barry
it.
Jordan said no.
No, they're saying no more. I'm not going to let you take any more punishment. It's all over. The fight is ended. Margarito's eye in the long run didn't hold up.
And still, WBA Super Welterweight Champion of the World.
After the fight was stopped, you went to Margarito's corner and stared at him for what seemed like quite a while. Why?
Just to look at him, you know, and taste my victory on him.